everything is change. Today on Fortitude through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. Love this quote that Ryan Holiday is using to make the point here. But first, a quote from Marcus Aurelius. Meditate often on the swiftness with which all things exist and is coming into being, is swept by us and carried away. For substance is like a river, unending flow, its activities continually changing and causing indefinitely shifting, so that almost nothing at all stands still. And in full disclosure, this is one of the re-records from one of the videos I lost. Now, here's the parallel to Buddhism, where one of the Four Noble Truths is life is impermanent. What does that mean? It's not permanent, it's always changing, it's forever changing. People that try and grasp onto things to remain the same are those that endure the worst suffering. So here's the quote that I love. And Marcus writes about this in his meditations, and he takes this from Heraclitus. And the quote is, "No man steps in the same river twice, for each time the river has changed, and so has the man." I love this. And here, again, I'm going to do a parallel to an actual river. And this really kind of makes the point. Back in 2006, I took his Orvis fly fishing course, and I practiced the casting, went and studied the stream, learned how to read a stream, learned the etymology of the bugs in the natural life cycle and the hatching and their nymphing phase, and all the different stages of the life cycle of the different bugs that these trout eat. And I used to go to this one river because that's where I learned, and I was familiar with it, so it was pretty easy, and it was a low skill river. The Rojan, actually, in New York. Rojankill. And what I remember is one time I went out there and had this perfect day of fly fishing. It was nice, it was easy, whatever. And then one time I went in that river and I actually ended up downstream. True story, because I went in the river the same spot, but I didn't realize that the river was a little higher. And I was actually wearing my waders a little lower then, because I wore a different rig, and it was different setup. So what happened is my foot slipped into a hole in the river, and I went down below the water line, and all of a sudden my waders filled up with water, and down the stream I went. Now, that could have been a very bad situation in a more aggressive river, but again, it's the Rojankill. You can pretty much stand up almost everywhere except in the holes. So I was swept downstream, was able to climb out, laughed at myself, did not lose my rod or reel. But it reminds me that it's true about life, right? Because almost every situation that we're in, the situation is different because the people have had different experiences, a different mindset, they're changed. The cells in their body are different. Every variable is different. And the people that struggle the most in life are the people that don't really understand that. They're trying to hold on to this constant state. Even happiness, in my study of ancient philosophy, happiness was never really discussed in these ancient philosophies. It wasn't, the word happy in the English term doesn't really translate to anything of meaning to the ancient Stoics or the ancient philosophers. The reason being is because happiness is just a snapshot in time of a particular set of circumstances at that particular time. It is not a constant state. People are not always happy. You are happy for a moment. You are sad for a moment, depressed, excited. There's a lot of range of emotions that happen. But if happiness is the goal, if you're always trying to hit a moving target from a moving platform with all kinds of conditions, you are going to get very frustrated. And that's where I truly have learned to embrace impermanence, and it's part of my meditation now. This says meditate. So, okay, I'm going to listen to one of the most powerful men in the world, who's regarded as one of the greatest emperors to ever lead the Roman Empire. And he says, meditate often on the swiftness in which all that exists is coming into being and swept by us and carried away. Meditate often. And you're right. So that is where I have fallen in love with Buddhism, because for me, there's a lot of ideology in Stoicism. They teach reflection. Sure, you reflect on a day, but again, you're reflecting. It's an ideological practice, right? Sure, you've seen some things and you're reflecting on what you saw. The difference in meditation is in Buddhism, there's a practical application for taking these thoughts and removing them and gaining that clarity of mind. That's why I think there's such a beautiful marriage between Stoicism and Buddhism. I really do. So again, life is a constant state of change, and so are we. To get upset by things is to wrongly assume that they will last. Nothing lasts forever. Not even the universe. We know that it's going to expand past where the earth is. Our sun is, during its life cycle, going to consume the earth. This will no longer exist at some point in the future, very far in the future. But your life is an example of that. You will die. You will die very near in the future in the breath of human existence. So to resent change is to wrongly assume that you have any choice in the matter. That's where the frustration comes. That's where the anger comes. That's where the suffering comes. If you accept the fact that the people in your life that you love are going to change, they're going to be on their own journey, things about them are going to be different. Your job, your loved ones, your family relationships, everything that you currently know will be different. In a moment from now, it'll be different in a moment from now, it'll be different from a moment from now. And in one of my recordings yesterday, which again is a little bit in the future now because this is a re-record, I talked about the choice about being a dolphin or a salmon. You can swim against the current and have this ever-ending frustration, and that's why salmon only live 3 years. Or you could be a dolphin and simply just go with the waves, right? Go with the waves. And that's really how I look at that, because everything is change. You embrace that, you flow with that, or you get swept away by that. And on that, out of here.